Hi, this is Craig, and welcome back to my channel. And the first thing I want to say to all of you is congratulations. Now, you may be wondering, what am I congratulating you for? Well, you've made it through your post federal government interview with a new employer. But wait, don't relax just yet. What you do after the interview can be just as important as what you did during the interview. So, whether you're a federal employee navigating career transitions due to the OPM Government Workforce Initiative, Efficiency Initiative, or anybody on a job hunt, anyone looking to secure employment, uh, following up can be properly and evaluating your performance can make a huge difference. So today we're going to talk about the post interview process. Let's dive in. Okay. The first thing I want to say is that a strong follow up keeps you on you top of mind with hiring managers. Whenever you follow up with them in a good way after your interview, it keeps you at the forefront of their mind. Okay, you should send a thank you note. Now, I know that sounds old school, but you should send a thank you note or an email the same day that you're interviewed. Right. So you go, maybe your interview is in the morning. You want to send a thank you note that very same day because you want to keep employers at the height and the top. You want to stay on at the height and the top of employers' mindsets. Even though they don't hire you right then, you never know what's going to happen in the future. So make sure you send a thank you note the same day. And this is your chance to reinforce key points from the interview. It's your chance to add anything that you forgot to mention. It's your chance to express your appreciation and enthusiasm for the role. All right, here's a quick example of a professional thank you email. I know, particularly in this generation, we are not used to sending professional thank you emails because we apply for so many jobs across the work spectrum. But this is an example, and it just might be the secret that unlocks more employment opportunities for you. All right, here's an example. Dear Mr. Williams, thank you for the opportunity to interview with you yesterday. I truly appreciate the insights you shared about Washington Mutual Bank. Learning about your expansion plans and the role of loan officers made me even more excited about the opportunity. I look forward to the possibility of bringing my experience to your team. Please let me know if I can provide any additional information. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Best, Charles Henderson, or whatever your name is, or Charlene Henderson, whatever your name is. Right? But you can put on there whatever your name is, and you can utilize this however you like. If you prefer a handwritten note that you'll mail, which really gives much more of a personal touch, keep it short and professional, just like this. Dear Mrs. Anderson, thank you for taking the time to interview me today. The cable installer position at CCC aligns well with my experience, and I enjoyed our conversation. I also appreciated your recommendation for local fishing spots. I'll be sure to check them out. I look forward to hearing from you next Thursday. Best regards, Judy Smith. Now, fishing spots is just an example from that particular job or on that particular job. But in order to be able to say things like that, you've got to hone in your mind and remember the conversation and remember the interview that you had. And that's why I would suggest making sure that whenever you go into any interview, make sure you take a piece of paper and a notepad so that you can write down particular moments. And you're not just writing down answers to the questions that they're asking you, you're writing down any additional notes, any additional pieces of information or conversation that they give you during that time. Because you want to use that to build into your thank you note for them interviewing you or considering you for that position. A personal touch like this can set you apart from other candidates, whether present or in the future. All right, every interview is a learning experience. This is what we all have to remember. To improve your chances in future interviews, I want you to take a few minutes to reflect on your performance. And here's a quick post interview checklist to guide you. All right. I want you to look at punctuality. Were you at least 15 minutes early? You want to look at appearance. Did you dress appropriately? You want to look at materials. Did you bring your reference list, work samples, or any requested documents that the employer or the future employer or hiring manager might be asking you for? Engagement. Did you express genuine excitement and enthusiasm for the position for which you were applying? And then connections. Did you mention who referred you? Challenges. What questions were most difficult for you in that interview? Because chances are you will probably encounter those questions again or something very similar. And then you want to go next steps. When should you follow up, right, for this interview? All right, answering these questions honestly will be able to help you fine tune your approach for the next interview. You want to build those interview skills because what we've said in another video, it rings true. Interviewing for a job, applying for jobs after you have come from another job is a job and sometimes a career in and of itself. So you want to make sure that you take the time to review your interview, review your performance on that interview so you get better for next time. All right, waiting to hear back can be nerve wracking. I know this. But you don't have to just sit around. If the employer gave you a decision date, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, you want to wait until that day or the next business day to follow up. If they didn't give you a timeline, you want to wait about a week to follow up. Okay. What I've done is kind of outline a script for a follow up call whenever you think about or whenever you are considering reaching back out to your interviewer or the employer that considered you for the job. You can say hi, make sure you give your name. This is your name. I wanted to follow up on my interview for the job title position. I'm very interested in the role and was wondering if there's an update on the hiring process. Let me know if there's anything else you need from me. I appreciate your time and your consideration. What this is going to do is keep your name fresh on their minds without being too pushy to the interviewer, okay? And without seeming necessarily desperate, although we know to a certain degree, there's always a level of desperation when it comes to trying to find these jobs. But you want to make sure that you keep it in that particular mode or frame so that you don't come off too pushy. Because remember, the interviewer or the person who may be offering you a job, or the person who has considered you for that job, they got a lot to do. They have a lot of other candidates to consider. So you want to make sure yours is short, sweet, popping, puts it fresh on your mind, and it's not pushy. Okay? Now, while you wait, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Continue networking. You want to continue applying for other jobs, and you want to improve as much as possible your resume. Now, you can do this in a lot of different ways. And one of the things I want to talk to you about is consider trying to fine tune your resume and building up your resume by applying for volunteer opportunities. A lot of people may not know that the government actually has a whole website for volunteer opportunities. I'll leave it in the description. But they've got a whole website for volunteer opportunities where they're unpaid opportunities, but they are an opportunity for you to gain experience so that you can use it as your secret weapon to put on your resume for experience for future jobs. Whenever you are applying for any job, whether that's a federal government job or a private sector job or a job at other companies, they always want to know how much experience you have. And even if you've done things without pay, those types of things count. Volunteer service, work that you've done in the community, things you may have done at your church, things you may have done at organizations that you're a part of, chapters, those kinds of things. You want to include all of that in your resume because it all counts. All right, your next opportunity could be right around the corner. Okay, remember, the interview process isn't over when you walk out of the door. A great follow up can give you an edge, and self reflection will prepare you for future opportunities. Now, listen, this video is super important. The follow-up video is super important. The follow-up process of an interview is super important. And the reason why it's important is because it actually sets you up for networking. What you don't realize is the person that you're following up with, you're actually putting them in the Rolodex of your mind, and they're putting you in the Rolodex of their mind for future networking opportunities. Things change all the time. Jobs change all the time. And honestly, you never really know where that person's going to end up. And you never really know where your journey, your career journey is going to take you. So it's always good to make sure you maintain contact information of people that you've applied for. It's always good to make sure you show proper courtesy and decorum for them considering you for that job. Now, you may be interviewed by someone who's just a manager there, maybe a mid-level manager, or you may be interviewed by somebody who's an executive manager or an executive director at the company that you're applying for, or you may be interviewed by somebody who has their own business and is just trying to give you a shot or give you a chance. No matter what category that they're in, you want to make sure that you maintain contact, and you want to make sure that you thank them properly for giving you that opportunity. All right, if you found this video helpful, make sure you drop some comments below. Make sure you share it if you think it'll be helpful to other people. And look out for more content here on this channel. And as always, no matter what happens, or no matter what you're doing, or no matter what you're preparing for, live royally and live well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.